Chapter 52, The Horned Teacher, the 16th of June. It was the first day of school. They attended a short school opening ceremony. Zhu Tui remembered someone, the principal of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, Wen Xinglin. The summary said that he was 82 years old and could be considered an old man in a normal state. However, in reality, he was walking with vigor. He looked like he was in his 40s and was still very young. He was brimming with energy and was exuding a strange aura. According to the resources, the principal of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, Wen Xinglin, had been a genetic transmutation realm expert since 40 years ago. Students, all of you who managed to enter the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College are exceptional talents. All of you have the ability to think for yourself. Therefore, no matter how exaggerated my explanation is, it will not be of much use to you. I only have 2 words for that, please look. Wen Xinglin pointed toward the sky. 7,000 to 8,000 new students followed his finger and looked toward the sky. The sky was clear. Other than the rising sun, there were no other clouds. Look closely, don't blink. While he was speaking, Wen Xinglin suddenly snapped his fingers. The sound of his fingers snapping was clear enough to be heard throughout the venue. It was also at this moment that an indescribable fear suddenly welled up in Zhu Tui's heart. Boom! 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 Thousands of bolts of lightning appeared in the sky at the same time. They weaved into an electric net. Countless blue sparks instantly exploded in the air. Lightning explosion! There was a lightning explosion in the sky. All of the new students were dumbfounded. Some of them even fell off their seats in a panic. The students who were recording the scene with their communication devices became dumbfounded. Is he even human? The lightning bolts in the clear sky lasted less than 3 seconds before disappearing. It seemed as though it had appeared out of thin air and vanished without a trace. There were no signs at all. However, the lingering sounds of explosions in the ears of the students could not be more realistic. This scene shocked all of the students. Several students were so shocked that they started to drool. They were still staring intently at the clear skies just now. They all wondered if there was something wrong with their eyes. He was from the mystery branch just now. Yes, the extreme branch. Wen Xinglin swept his gaze past the middle-aged man sitting beside him. The middle-aged man's suit was bulging out of his body. Vice Principal Han, show the new students what you got. Vice Principal Han laughed as he stood up. The Extreme Branch Institute would definitely produce superhumans. In the next instant, Vice Principal Han's body became slightly shorter. Then, he shot into the air like a monkey. He jumped several dozen meters into the air, then twisted his body and rolled twice. He was like a falcon as he jumped onto the floating balloon that was pulling a welcome banner. Then, Vice Principal Han felt as though he was nailed to a buoyancy balloon. He swayed with the wind but remained standing. Students, my performance is of the lowest level. It is only suitable for performance. The abilities of the Extreme Branch are definitely beyond your imagination. While he was speaking, Vice Principal Han jumped down from a height of over 30 meters. What was more impressive was that he landed where he had jumped just now, where he was supposed to be sitting on the platform, and sat down. The platform did not even shake. Even the bottles of water on the table did not shake. The new students below the stage were still very shocked. However, after being baptized by the principal's lightning, Vice Principal Han's soaring performance was not as shocking. Of course, the eagerness in the Extreme Branch students' eyes could not be concealed. All right, it's finished. I only have 1 sentence for the students. Everything is possible for genetic newcomers. The new students were still dumbfounded. It was unknown which teacher took the lead in clapping, but the entire court erupted in thunderous applause. The new student recruitment ceremony is over. Also, the student who recorded the scene just now, please look at the rules of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College again. Read the rules of the genetic newcomer closely. You can keep the videos for yourself to admire. However, please do not post it on your public social media account. Do not cause any problems, especially with explosive videos. This is a kind reminder and warning. If the Special Intelligence Department finds you, please pay the fine or take responsibility. As the announcement was repeated over and over again, the new students left the venue. Many students even turned around to look at the sky. They seemed to be recalling the scene of the lightning explosion. Some students even wondered if it was some kind of high-tech special effect. Zhu Tui also had his doubts. A wave of lightning with the flick of a finger. However, Vice Principal Han, who had arrived later, gently jumped onto a 30-meter-tall buoyancy balloon. He was like the wind. This could not be a high-tech special effect. Actually, the lightning explosion should not have been a special effect. If it really was a special effect, how would he explain in Zhao Xu's ability to fly when he was ambushed by the Earth Element superb individual a few days ago? It was true. Instantly, the words of the principal, Wen Xinglan, rang in Zhu Tui's mind. Anything was possible for genetic newcomers. The learning tempo of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College was extremely tight. The classes had been arranged beforehand. Class would officially start after the school opening ceremony. There were not many people in the Mystery Branch Institute, much less the School of Enlightened Mind. Finally, only 15 students managed to sit in the classroom of the School of Enlightened Mind. There were not many people. However, all of the students had one characteristic: their eyes were really bright. Zhu Tui felt that his eyes were bright even without looking. He was so handsome. His face should be brighter than his eyes. Good morning, students. My surname is Bian and my full name is Bian Yuan. I am the vice teacher of the first-year students in the School of Enlightened Mind. I will be responsible for your daily study missions and other matters. Students can look for me if you have any problems in the future. Everyone recognized Mr. Bian. He had a pair of black-rimmed glasses. They had seen him during the level assessment that day. Mr. Bian, you are the vice teacher. Who is our homeroom teacher? A student asked. Bian Yuan pushed up his glasses. Our homeroom teacher? Her surname is An and her name is Zhao Soxui. You will meet her in the future. Also, it's not just us. The homeroom teachers of the 4 classes in the School of Enlightened Mind are all Professor and Zhao Soxui. Below the stage, Zhu Tui was deep in thought. And Zhao Soxui was not just a nominal homeroom teacher. On the contrary, she should be very important as she was the homeroom teacher of the School of Enlightened Mind for 4 classes. Students, I have something that I have to tell you in advance. We have to choose a class monitor in our class to guide and serve everyone on the principle of free will and fairness. We'll get to know each other in the next 2 days. We'll find the time to choose a class monitor when we are free. Bian Yuan pushed up his large black-framed glasses and spoke in a scholarly manner. All right, let us begin our lesson. The first lesson of today is also the opening statement of the School of Enlightened Mind. Bian Yuan, who was at the side of the podium, quickly entered the zone. Students, do you know why we are called the School of Enlightened Mind? Do you know the origins of the Enlightened Mind type? Do you know about the future of the School of Enlightened Mind? I'll tell everyone about this problem today. First of all, when it came to enlightened, it came together with intelligence. The term intelligence has been around for thousands of years. It was not something that could be dismissed. However, after the Great Genetic Age, the first dean of the School of Enlightened Mind, Shang Long, proposed the matter of enlightened mind and isolated enlightened from enlightened mind. After that, it became more and more complete. That's how the enlightened mind type came about. First, let us clarify what is intelligence and what is enlightenment. The meaning of those words was clear as day in the Great Genetic Age. The extreme branch had its own intelligence type. The mystery branch had their own enlightened mind type. Intelligence was a manifestation of power in this day and age. The simplest manifestation of that was memory. A photographic memory was a manifestation of intelligence. Ordinary calculating abilities, such as mental calculations, were also a manifestation of intelligence. Then what is enlightenment? Enlightenment was a supplement, enlightenment was a plumpness, enlightenment was a discovery and an exploration. For example, 1 + 1 was equivalent to 2. Knowing this was intelligence. That meant that understanding 1 + 1 is equivalent to 3 was enlightenment. If you can prove that 1 + 1 is equal to 4 and that it is something that no one has noticed yet, that would be called an enlightened mind. Another example would be an ancient text. If you memorized it with a photographic memory, you would have intelligence. However, if you have understood it and have stated your understanding of the ancient language, this is enlightenment. If you have a unique understanding of the same ancient text that no one else has, then it is major enlightenment. This is called an enlightened mind. In his seat, Zhu Tui was deep in thought. Was this the source of the enlightened mind? The difference between intelligence and enlightenment. Bian Yuan had dark glasses and looked like a nerd. However, his lesson was extremely exciting. He went straight to the point. Many students were engrossed in the story. The first lesson passed quickly. They had to change the location of their second class in the morning, which was in Hall 1 of the Mystery Branch Institute. This was a collective lesson for all first-year students in the Mystery Branch Institute. More than 800 new students were gathered in the same classroom. They were all busy communicating with each other, especially their classmates from various schools. They were all busy exchanging communication methods and getting to know each other. What was the most valuable thing about the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College? It had to be the connections. Thus, the students were busy communicating with each other. The multifunctional hall was bustling with noise. It was so noisy that a teacher wearing a fisherman's hat walked slowly toward the platform without being noticed. The teacher did not flare up. Instead, he knocked gently on the table and slowly removed his fisherman's hat. Instantly, the noisy multi-purpose hall became silent. The teacher who took off his fisherman's hat had horns on his head.